Vitamin B12 deficiency that should never be ignored. The human body needs nutrients from different sources to function properly. However, although most everyone is aware of this fact, many people don't know when they are lacking in something. Vitamins are one of the main nutrients that the body needs, and all types of vitamins have their benefits. One of them is B12, also known as Cobalamine. This vitamin is very important, and the lack of it can cause some health implications that could easily be avoided if you know what to look for. In this video, we'll be discussing some of the important signs of vitamin B12 deficiency that you should never ignore. Keep watching, as you may find that vitamin B12 deficiency may be the cause of some of the symptoms you're experiencing, including erectile dysfunction. Vitamin B12 is a water-soluble vitamin, a very essential nutrient, and its role in the body cannot be overemphasized. Its major function is to help the human body in the production of red blood cells. It also helps to keep the nervous system functioning properly. Vitamin B12 is also necessary for DNA synthesis, energy production, and the overall function of the central nervous system. Unfortunately, the human body does not create vitamin B12 by itself, so the only way to obtain this essential vitamin is to take foods that contain this nutrient. This all means that you may not know whether you are taking enough food to supply this nutrient, which predisposes you to vitamin B12 deficiency. You may also have certain medical conditions that require you to take vitamin B12 depleting medications. Research has shown that a major population of adults suffer from a lack of vitamin B12 in their bodies, and that vitamin B12 is even more common in older adults. That is not to say that vitamin B12 deficiency can't be found in young adults or even children. This deficiency could lead to several physical and psychological problems. These problems are not without their signs and symptoms, and you may be experiencing some of them right now. Here is a list of some of the vitamin B12 deficiency symptoms that you should never ignore. One of the most common symptoms of vitamin B12 deficiency is fatigue. Deficiency in vitamin B12 can cause megaloblastic anemia, a condition that leads to the formation of large, abnormal, and immature red blood cells. As mentioned earlier, this vitamin helps in the production of red blood cells, and red blood cells contain a property known as hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is responsible for transporting oxygen to all other cells and tissues of the body. So, if your body is not getting adequate vitamin B12, it means that your red blood cells are not being produced properly, which also means that there is not enough oxygen in your body. This will ultimately leave you tired, and that could be why you feel fatigued ever so often. Feeling dizzy? You may want to check for vitamin B12 deficiency. A vitamin B12 deficiency can lead to anemia, which causes shortness of breath. When you experience this often, you begin to feel weak, off balance, and lightheaded. Dizziness is a common indicator that your body is vitamin B12 deficient. Have you noticed that your skin color is pale for no reason at all? It may be because you have vitamin B12 deficiency. For those who are deficient in vitamin B12, their skin tends to appear pale or even slightly jaundiced. This is also because of the reduced production of red blood cells in the body. The lack of red blood cells in your circulatory system can cause the pigmentation of your skin to become pale in color. Another thing that vitamin B12 deficiency can result in is excess bilirubin. Bilirubin is a brown-colored substance that is produced by the liver. When bilirubin is excessively present in the liver, it can result in a yellow or jaundiced discoloration of your body. This is another sign to look out for: mood swings. Although this is not common, studies have shown that people who have vitamin B12 deficiency have higher homocysteine levels. This can cause damage to the brain tissue and can interrupt the signals that travel to and from the brain, hence the mood swings. Studies also show that vitamin B12 deficiency can lead to emotional instability. There has also been a link between vitamin B12 deficiency and mood disorders like dementia and depression. If your tongue is on fire and it's not because you ate something spicy, it may be because you are vitamin B12 deficient. Glossitis is a major symptom of vitamin B12 deficiency that should never be ignored. This condition, which is commonly known as Hunter's glossitis or Moeller's glossitis, leaves your tongue red, inflamed. This is often an early sign of vitamin B12 deficiency. Other symptoms that can be found by oral examination are stomatitis, xerostomia, chelosis, and bleeding gums. It is important to note that glossitis is a symptom that can be caused by deficiency in other nutrients. That is why it is important to see a doctor when you notice any of these symptoms. Paresthesia is a medical term that simply means tingling sensations and is one of the symptoms of vitamin B12 deficiency. It is usually a burning sensation that feels like pins and needles in your hands and feet. This is not a nice experience. Vitamin B12 is very important in the production of myelin, a fatty substance that surrounds the nerves to provide both protection and insulation. Automatically, a lack of vitamin B12 means a reduced level of myelin, which results in paresthesia. A lot of adults who have vitamin B12 deficiency have reported experiencing paresthesia. Unfortunately, this symptom is closely related to symptoms of diabetic neuropathy, a condition in which there is high nerve damage caused by high blood sugar. So, to avoid confusion and panic, you are advised to visit your doctor. Gastrointestinal problems. The list of gastrointestinal problems can be vitamin B12 deficiency is almost without end. Your digestive tract can be in serious trouble if you don't have enough vitamin B12 in your body. Since vitamin B12 deficiency means your body isn't getting enough red blood cells, which transfer oxygen to the body, it means your guts will have to pay the heavy price. Symptoms are diarrhea, constipation, nausea, bloating, loss of appetite, and even gas may be pointers to vitamin B12 deficiency. This symptom can affect both adults and children. As unbelievable as that may sound, erectile dysfunction may occur due to vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 plays an important role in breaking down of homocysteine in the body. However, once the body is vitamin B12 deficient, there is an increased level of homocysteine in the body. And an increased level of homocysteine in the body can lead to erectile dysfunction. Another indication that you may be vitamin B12 deficient is having blurred vision. The lack of vitamin B12 in the body can lead to damage to the nervous system, one of which includes the optic nerve. The optic nerve is a bundle of over 1 million fibers, whose work is to transmit sensory information for vision to occur. If this transmission is affected, it can cause what we call optic neuropathy, leading to blurred vision. Those who are suffering from vitamin B12 deficiency often experience blurred vision or disturbed vision. A good way to reverse this condition is to take vitamin B12 supplements. According to research, it works pretty well, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't visit your doctor. Self-medication is strongly disallowed. Reduced concentration. Are you finding it difficult to concentrate? It could be one of the signs of vitamin B12 deficiency. On a technical note, this condition is known as cognitive impairment. This means that you may have a hard time reasoning, thinking, or concentrating. In some cases, vitamin B12 deficiency may also lead to memory loss as well as dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease. This type of cognitive impairment is usually related to decrease in the amount of oxygen that reaches the brain. Its cumulative impact leads to these symptoms. Mobility. If you have experienced some sort of changes in your mobility, you may want to check for vitamin B12 deficiency because if left untreated, it can disrupt your coordination and balance. This can lead to serious injuries that result from falling. Since vitamin B12 deficiency is most common in older adults, it is necessary to treat it as fast as possible because falling at an old age can cause a domino effect on other parts of the body. As a person working towards a better and healthier life, you need to pay attention to these symptoms. Please note that we are only giving you pointers and there is no better medical advice than what your doctor prescribes. So, if you notice any of these symptoms, the first person to visit is your doctor.